Yes, finally got track bar. It's let's see here, it's pretty heavy for a track bar. It's definitely one of the beefier ones that I've ever had. It's rock crawler, of course. You know, we got this joint right here, that joint, 2 slide-in pieces, and then these little rubber rings. Of course, we got the zip tie to hold that together. But yep, I'm gonna slap this in hopefully pretty soon. It's gonna be awesome. Definitely really awesome track bar for sure. It's the same track bar that we had on Noctis, so just another piece to the puzzle here. So we should be getting the control arms here pretty soon, hopefully within the next few weeks. Pretty cool JKU. Definitely different. The XDM KMC machetes and the raw. Pretty interesting. We got all this like bed lines. We got a long arm kit. I wonder what brand that is. Yeah, I think the long arm is probably a rock crawler. It looks like the joints are really similar. Pretty cool LJ Rubicon though, some 37s. Gotta love the JL though. Rubicon, still utilizing the inner fenders there. Then obviously the upper portion of the high clearance fenders. Pretty cool, got a little light right there, and a light right there. TJ Rubicon. Alright, so stock track bar is out. That is good. Sketchy track bar is now gone. That's awesome. It only had to be like that for a few days. We do not recommend that you guys have a stock track bar lifted 2.5 inches or more. Reason being, you know, you want your axle to be centered under the Jeep. You don't want your axle being shifted this far that way or shifted this too far that way. You want it to be centered. So once we get this in, we're gonna measure it all up from the frame rail to the edge of the tire on both sides to make sure that the axle is completely centered underneath the Jeep. So that will ensure that the Jeep is tracking straight on that part of things. Obviously, you know, you're gonna have your control arms that help how your Jeep handles on the highway. You know, you don't want it to be going like this on the interstate, you know, trying to keep it in the lane. So still waiting on the control arms. Hopefully we'll have those soon to kind of push the axles out a little bit, center the axles and the wheel well a little bit. So we're gonna have to do a little bit more trimming for flexing on that part. Track bar finally in, nice and torqued down, got that all taken care of. Springs are sitting much more straight. That's awesome. Gotta do some final measurements, final torquing, all that good stuff. But yeah, our axle should be a lot more center. Oh yeah, you guys can see, well, there's not enough light for you guys to see, but there's like a gap right here where the fender meets the tire. It's like the same on both sides. You guys can tell it's a lot better. So nice and center. Just gotta get the control arms now. So yeah, the control arms are definitely gonna help so much. It's gonna center the axles and the wheel well, so it's gonna bring the axles out, stretch the wheelbase just a little bit to be more like the factory one was, because you know, when you lift it with fixed control arms, the stock length, the axles tend to shrink in a little bit more. So yeah, once we get the control arms in, it's definitely gonna help keep this thing tracking straight on the highway. But you know, also with these bigger tires, you're gonna need something to help stabilize them. So a beefy steering stabilizer like the Fox ATS would come in very handy just to keep the tires from bouncing around a little bit, just to kind of help hold them in place a little bit better. So control arms are gonna take the axle and it's gonna correct the caster. So it's gonna pretty much just kind of tilt this back a little bit. Gonna take that pinion angle right there, drop it a little bit. So axle's gonna be, you know, straight up and down. It's not gonna be turned like this basically. So that'll be the next step to get those control arms out. It gets the adjustable metal cloak ones in. That's gonna be very nice. Can't wait to do that. Also, the joints are gonna be flexible on the metal cloak ones, so that's gonna help with articulation of the axle as well. Also gonna be doing exhaust spacers, so we can drop this exhaust crossbar right here down so the drive shaft won't contact it whenever we droop this side of the axle. But that's also gonna put, you know, once we correct this caster angle and then push the pinion angle down, it's gonna make the drive shaft go from this to kind of like this basically.
So that's gonna make it wear out a lot quicker. We will eventually be replacing that with like an Adams 1310 or something like that.